Hi everyone, my name is Nattavud Pimpa and I am Associate Professor in International Management from the College of Management at Mahidol University in Thailand. This is really a great pleasure for me to work with you on this important project, Sustainable Development Education. Well, so far I guess you have learned a great deal of details and points from different professors worldwide on the importance and role of sustainable development goals toward the aims that we will achieve all these points by 2030. Well, easier said than done is what we've been thinking on the achievement of this goal, but there is no way to stop us. We will have to work towards this. Otherwise, we are going to face the dilemma of humankind. Today, I am here to present my concept on Sustainable Development Goal 5, which is gender equality. For some of us, the concept of gender equality can be just the generic society kind of issues. But in fact, if you look at the importance of this particular SDG, you'll find that the achieve gender equality and empower our women and girls are actually the foundation of the majority of the sustainable development goals. Well, if you look at the definition, the UN explained gender equality that it is a system that is not fundamental human right, but a necessary foundation for a peaceful, prolific, and sustainable world, providing women and girls with equal access to education, health, and also work and opportunities in economy will really help them to be the leader, to become someone who can work in the decision-making process, and that will fuel sustainable economies and benefit society and humanity at large. Okay, so if you look at this concept, I'd like to identify the targets and also the representation of this target into the SDG. For example, if you look at target 5.1, end discrimination against women and girls. Of course, we are talking about the fact that discrimination comes in all forms, and simple issues such as legal framework that it's actually discriminatory can really impede the progress of women to be in the policy or leadership role. So we need to end all forms of discrimination against them, including girls as well. When it comes to the other aspect on violence against and exploitation of women and girls, the issue can be still witnessed from some massive industries such as in food, in agriculture or fisheries, where you can still see the proportion of women and girls, in particular at age 15 years or older, can become subject of physical, sexual, labor or psychological violence. So this has to be monitored and really discussed among the policymakers worldwide. The next part is violence against women from person other than an intimate partner. The proportion of women and girls aged 15 years and older subject to sexual violence by persons other than an intimate partner in the previous 12 months. This is a stat from the UNDP by age and place of occurrence. So we do need to work together towards the elimination of all forms of violence against them. Why we have to think so much about this kind of issue in terms of violence and discrimination against women and girls? Because gender-based discrimination, deeply rooted and present across all countries, threaten to undermine the transformative potential of the 2030 agenda in real and measurable ways. This goal-by-goal review show that gender inequality remain pervasive in each and every dimension of sustainable development. So we can't really take this point for granted and don't take the gender equality seriously. This particular goal, you can really look at the what and the how of the gender inequality in order to understand strategies that most governments use to create the environment that enhance the equity and equality among men and women. Well, if you look at the what, which is the target, pretty much the six targets focus on the elimination of discrimination, violence, and embrace women into the participation of public policy and leadership roles, as well as the looking at the universal access to sexual and reproductive health and rights for women. That's given for what, but the how can be quite problematic when you think of the implementation of social policy on gender-based issue in different countries. For example, the how on undertake reforms to give women equal rights to economic resources, including land. The issue of land entitlement can be problematic in some parts in Southeast Asia and or in South Asia, and that is related to the roles of women in the land. Enhance the use of information and communication technology. Research shows that majority of the victim of the cyberbullies are women and girls, and that's actually quite daunting to see the number has been increasing, and that's due to access to the information communication technology that can be both positive and negative for women and girls in each country. We also think about ways to adopt and strengthen policies and legislation in order to promote women in the leadership role and public policy. Well, again, you need to go back and look at the number of women in the parliament in each part of the world. You'll be surprised to see that there is no particular formula for each country. It comes up and down. This year is one country and next year is another country. So we may question on social policy that each country work towards the promotion of gender equality among men and women. Having said that, what's important here for us is we need to create the ecosystem that promote women to grow in their own particular area. In my area, we look at entrepreneurship and education. We found that women tend to do well. That because of the strong ecosystem and the foundation of business in most countries in Southeast Asia, where it is promoted women to be their own business owner. But in some areas such as finance, information technology for a business owner, as well as the legal aspect, that seems to be something that need to work to support women to have this full participation in the economic roles in the host country. Right, so this is what I guess you can see as the big broad concept of SDG5 and how the target and the indicators can work together to promote equality among men and women in each country, and that will lead to the fulfillment of SDG of all 17 points. In this topic, I hope you learn the fact that SDG5 is centered on achieving gender equality and empowering our women and girls. It's a broad and multifaceted goal encompassing the following key areas. First, end discrimination against women and girls, and that involve changes in the law, policy, and social norms in most parts of the world. Stop violence against women, whether it's from the domestic violence or public and private sphere. We need to eliminate harmful practices and ensure participation and leadership of women in the leadership role and in policy making. Access to reproductive health rights and recognition of unpaid and domestic work. We also talk about equal rights to economic resources for women, and more importantly, with this modern world, we need to empower them with technology, information, communication technology that will lead them to the independence financially and socially. Right, so the suggestion for the achieving of SDG5 can come in various forms, but of all these points, first, we agree that policy and legal reforms have to be done, and the government must enact and enforce law and policy that promote gender equality, and including legislation addressing domestic violence, equal pay, and equal representation of women in the parliament. Education and awareness also become an important issue During COVID-19, we realized that the number of women enrolled in technical vocational education and girls enrolled in school has been dropped significantly. So we need to promote gender equality in school and throughout the education system, including the media. Economic empowerment is the way to create a policy that programs to support women's economic empowerment. In many circumstances, we talk about the fact that government can promote entrepreneurship program, access to finance and resources for women. Participation and representation. We need to advocate for women's participation in local, regional, and national decision-making processes. I hope you have come up with some idea on how to promote equality among men and women in our society in order to achieve SDG by 2030. Thank you.